Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You've got your boys here, Bert, the Hitman, and Lanny, a legend, the two best dividend investors out here in all of social media, guys. YouTube, X, you know it. You know where to find us. Almost 20,000 subs here, over 35,000 followers on X/Twitter, guys. And today it's time to make another case for a 6% yielding dividend growth stock.
Smash that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Let's freaking go, everybody. Yesterday, we talked about my favorite dividend stock, Realty Income. So check that video out if you haven't already. I'm not going to say this is one of Lanny's favorite stocks, but it's one of Lanny's oldest holdings. It's one of Lanny's oldest positions that is now possibly shooting back up that dividend stock watch list. Let's see if it's a stock to buy right now.
You're right, Bert. As the stock market, oh man, I'm doing a quick discount double
Do
check.
it.
We are filming this on
Don't do
November.
it.
Don't do it. It's up 26%. The S&P 500 says 6,000. You're in my sights. I am going to get there. But you know what, guys? We're dividend investors. We buy assets. We ABB, always be buying. Let us know in the comments if that's what you guys are doing. And Bert laid out the red carpet. He played the theme music. The smoke came out from the ground, guys, because this was actually the first individual dividend stock I bought circa 14 plus years ago. We are talking none other than Pfizer. Ticker symbol PFE, Bert.
We love it. And what are we going to do? We're going to run them through the Dividend Diplomats dividend stock screener focused on those three metrics and that bonus metric, the price earnings ratio less than the S&P 500, that dividend payout ratio less than 60%, that history of increasing dividends, and lastly, that bonus metric, the dividend yield. Let's freaking go.
All right, thanks, B. And before we dive into those wonderful metrics here, few reasons why they're catching my eye and they should be catching possibly your eye. And before we get in, have you been buying Pfizer stock? Let us know below. But the big thing from their last earnings release that just came out about a week ago, they actually raised guidance. They increased the range of their revenue. They actually increased it by 1.5 billion on the range. So now the guidance is 61 billion to 64 billion. I remember praying that they possibly could hit 60 billion this year, maybe just a tad below it. But now they're thinking they're going to go above the 60 billion revenue, Bert.
That's wild. Above the 60 billion. They're climbing.
No,
What?
go ahead.
I don't
No,
know.
go ahead.
They're climbed back to 100 billion, which they hit in the peak COVID era a few years ago.
Exactly. And again, that's one piece of positive news. What about that second piece of positive news that correlates to the revenue?
Not only did they raise it on that top line, Chico, they raised that guidance on the bottom line. The EPS was raised by 30% in the range. Wow.
30 cents. Yeah.
That
Wow.
is, and keep that in mind when we start talking about our stock screener and you see what that EPS that we use in the stock screener is, you are going to see why a 30-cent increase is a pretty significant amount for a company like Pfizer.
Oh, exactly. And then on top of that, as Bert dovetails right into it, Q3 revenue was up 32% year over year for quarter three.
Yeah, they saw a huge boost in EPS as well. They had 78 cents EPS for Q3 versus a net loss of 42 cents last year. So you saw a huge swing on that bottom line.
And then on top of that, guys, they're achieving their cost cutting strategies. Net cost savings about $5.5 billion so far. So yeah, I mean, all positive news really came out of Pfizer's earnings release. They also reduced their ownership stake in Halion, ticker symbol HLN, that they owned a ton of from the GlaxoSmithKline spinoff.
You and me
Uh,
both. You and me both, Pfizer.
yeah, yeah. I know I trimmed them down a long time ago.
Yes.
Back in, I think that was one of the first ones I cut this year.
Yeah, that was one of your first spin-off, Hogan Boots. That one, I do remember that.
You exited then as well, right?
Yes, I did. I absolutely did.
Good. So it looks like Pfizer's taking a page from the Diplomats books. They reduced their percentage of ownership from 23% down to 15%. So, guys, Let's get into the metric. That price to earnings ratio as of right now for Pfizer stock is 9.4 based on EPS of 2.92 according to Yahoo analyst estimates.
So remember that EPS is 292. We said that guidance went up 30 cents. That's a 10% swing up there on the guidance. That's a huge amount. Their annual
Huge.
evident annual dividend is $1.68. Payout ratio is 57%. So with that
We're
increase
back.
for guidance, it's below the dividend diplomat 60% threshold once again.
Guys, are we so back now with Pfizer? No, I'm kidding. But there was a time when this was getting in the 75 to 85% payout ratio range. So now it's
Yeah,
giving us some breathing room potentially here with Pfizer.
I guess that's what happens when the denominator increases on the payout ratio. The payout ratio goes down. It's beautiful how that works, isn't it?
It's beautiful. 13 years of growing dividends, guys. Now, the recent dividend growth has been very small last handful of years, about 3% here. But hey, they've been doing it for 13 years. The 3% is okay because of what, Bert?
Because of that dividend yield. So you want a high dividend factor, which includes yield plus growth. That gives you, we typically look for the 9 to 10% range, obviously higher. We're never going to complain more about it if it's over 10%. So you take that 3.3% 5-year dividend growth rate, you pair it with a nice 6.12% dividend yield. That is a dividend factor of 9.4%.
Poof. So, guys, and that is very nice compared to their 4.44% 5-year dividend yield average. Down again 7.6% this year, down about a little over a percent, down 6% this last month, guys. 155 billion market cap. Bert, what's your take on Pfizer stock after seeing all of this?
Okay. Metrics are looking solid right now. This is looking like it could be a potential stock to buy. What are you thinking, Laney? Do you have a potential price point in mind for Pfizer?
Yeah, I own 222 shares and, wouldn't mind scooping up 8 at current prices. I don't see anything negative that I could see that is giving them headwinds. You know, um, the pipeline looks okay. Not sure why there were markets reacting terribly against this earnings release. Again, down 6% this month. If you guys are seeing something, let us know about that in the comments. But at current prices, I'll probably end up trying to nibble some shares here to get a piece while the price is at this mark.
Absolutely love it. So everyone, let us know, what do you think about Pfizer? What is your buy zone for Pfizer? Or are you avoiding this dividend stock altogether? Let us know in that comment section down there below.
And guys, if you haven't, subscribe to this channel, like this video, let us know what other stocks you're buying out there as you reach financial freedom, as you're adding to your passive income total, guys. And one thing left, I got to tell you, you're either with us or you're against us, Jack. That was Bert the Hurt and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.